Today being the 1st of April, the year 2022. Good morning and welcome to the Acute Show. My name is Emmanuel Muyuka. Hi guys, my name is Emmanuel Muyuka and welcome to the Acute Show. Indeed, this show we've been doing it indoors, but today we decided that we are doing it in the field to just experience how the weather, this breeze it is outside here. And as we are going to see who the guests are, I think that I know you will enjoy this show and I know you will really get more. Today we're just comparing bad leadership, good leadership. Hope you will enjoy the show. The hashtag is the Acute Show. See you there. Welcome back. As I have said that I'll be joined with two colleagues whom we will be speaking about leadership matters. And here they are. They are fresh, they are good looking today. And I'd like them to introduce themselves.
Good evening, I'm Elvis Oluwa. I'm a student and a student leader. So thank you for giving me this chance to share. I think we are going to share ideas that we can enable us to expand on the topic that will be discussed here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear viewers. My name is Hemston Omamo, a student leader, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Mr. Tony will not be joining us today. He's out with Mr. Godfrey. They are out of the country. They have gone to visit the United States of America for an official function. So we will continue. And my first question to you, Mr. Odiwar.
Yes.
As a leader,
Yes.
What do you think you can tell us? Problems do happen as a leader.
Yes.
And that one you agree.
Yes.
So what do you do? How do you solve the problems as a leader?
As a leader,
Yeah.
you see, when you are a leader, you have to expect that problems must arise.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you must expect that there are problems that usually come to you as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
and there are problems that are affecting the people that you are leading.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, as a leader, all these things, because you expect them to always arise, you have to know how to tackle them.
Yes.
Of which I know as we are continuing, I'll tell you where and when, or how do we tackle these things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. What about you, Mr. Omam?
Thank you, Dr. Daktari. Whatever we are talking about is crisis, and we have to understand that in leadership there is crisis.
Yeah.
Because you are a leader to show the way, to know the way, and to cater for the way. John C. Maxwell once said that.
Yes.
And so whatever we are discussing is now how do you manage a crisis? Because crises are presupposed, they are unforeseen. So basically, as a leader, where you sit down, you have to know that now it has happened. How do I handle it? I think one of the major things, or one of the important things that you need, number one is accepting that crisis must happen. So as a leader, you become prepared psychologically that this one must happen.
Yeah.
Number two is now how do you address it? Now this is the action of being pragmatic, being now actionable. Now you have to stand and be actionable. And then in now, one of the things that you do when when handling it is that you have to be aware of the crisis, and you have to be aware, because after you acknowledge the crisis and you know the crisis, now this one would cater for what is the solution that best suits it. Because you cannot give a solution to a crisis which you don't understand.
Yeah.
And so as a leader, you have to sit at a place where you know which are types of crises that are supposed to arise in most occasions,
Yeah.
and what are the solutions. So things like getting to know the crisis, informing or making people aware of how they need to handle issues. I think these are the things which as a leader you have to agree. But one of the things which are the baseline is that crises are preeminent and they must always occur, and they are unforeseen. So you must be prepared for the same.
All right. That's great. Mr. Odiwar.
Yes.
How do you solve problems you as a leader?
Thank you. I solve problems depending on the different circumstances that they come. Let's say, for example, I'm a leader in a high school. Or another example, I am a leader in an institution or a higher level institution.
Yeah.
You see, the problems that affect these people are different. Therefore, I tackle them differently. So, as a leader, tackling problems depends on the problem itself.
Yeah.
So, if I talk of a single point, I will be out of the topic. Yeah, but problems really occur. It depends on the docket that I handle as a leader.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you want to tell me that different problems have different ways of solving?
Yes, different problems have different ways of solving them, and it also depends on your capacity as a leader. What is the level that you can reach, you as a leader, to solve this problem? Yes, and what are the things? You see, if you don't consider the docket that you are in, then you will find yourself out of the topic or out of the area that you're supposed to handle and solve. Thank you.
And this brings me to another question. The question of ideas. You know, as a leader, you are leading people. You are leading a particular team. You have members that you are leading. And these people might have new ideas. They might have new things that they want to bring. As a leader, do you accept or do you support this idea of collaborating and these members bringing new ideas to you?
Yes. I support that idea because, you see, it is way for the members. And whatever suits the members, if they bring it to me, I accept them because it is them that you are serving. So as a leader, I accept from every point. Then I sit down to evaluate which is the best idea to take. They all come, but I don't take all of them. I sit down, I discuss. I also am a human being like them. I have to listen to their ideas. We have to sit down, we have to agree and reach a consensus. If we don't reach a consensus, then I don't take that idea. But I have to see that the idea that I take is that idea that will help them, and also me as a leader, it also improves me or builds me to another level.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. What about you, Mr. Mamo? Do you support collaborating and listening to new ideas from different people?
Thank you. Whatever shapes my leadership ideology or philosophy is what I call liberal democracy. Now, this basically means that you have to pave way for relationships and associations so that you get to understand a world from a different point of view. You can not always be right. You can sometimes, you as a leader, although you are the vision bearer of whatever you are doing, but there is a room for you being human. And the fact that you are human means that there are times when you will be amiss. So your decisions will probably not always be right. But the moment you give people, a chance, or you create an environment where everyone can actually give out, whatever they have in them and bring them to the basket, then you are not only promoting them or growing them, but also you are growing. Because you grow when you have ideas. And the more diverse ideas are, the more you view life differently, and the more you give your brain or you give yourself a chance to grow. And that is why I sometimes differ with dictatorship, or what I call aristocracy. Because aristocracy is when I surmount or take everything to me being right. And most of the times, this one seems to a collapse, because then now you don't give people a chance to express themselves. I would generally, if I'm leading this team, I would give you a chance to express yourself, give Elvis a chance to express yourself, and then we reach a consensus. And then consensus building then is very important than that we build something that is meaningful. So I agree on consensus.
Now, Mr. Odiwuor.
Yes.
You know, as a leader, I believe that you must measure your performance.
Yes.
For you personally, how do you measure your performance as a leader?
As a leader, I measure my performance by speaking to the people I lead. When I speak to the people I lead, I assess some of them, not all of them, because you see, when you're a leader, not everyone loves you. So I assess them, especially the ones that are close to me. I usually choose as myself, as a leader. I choose for me some few people who can tell me the truth. people who don't fear that if they tell me the truth, I will not be close to them, or that if they tell me the truth, I will be rebuking them publicly. So these people, when I speak to them, I usually use them as my assessment. I talk to them, I tell them, whenever I go wrong, just come and speak to me. So daily, on a daily basis, I sit down with them and ask them, today I went and performed in this show, or I went and presented this. What do you think I should improve? Or where did I go wrong?
Yes.
So that after that, I will improve on that. Or after that, I will assess myself and say, no, me, as a leader, I see there's this thing that I spoke, but the reaction of the people was not the one that I expected. So that is how I assess myself as a leader.
Oh, that's great. What about you, Mr. Mam?
Yeah, I think, thank you for the question. I think one thing that we have to acknowledge is that you must always be at a position where you can be able to assess yourself as a leader, and then know that what is the level of, because to me, like I said, like I always say, that leadership is impact. And so you have to understand that what is the level of impact that I've created.
Yeah.
And I would love just to concur with whatever my colleague has said about sampling a particular group, or rather what they led. Now you have to reach the lead, because they are the one who bears the impact.
Yeah.
And so what do they feel about how you are leading? What do they see about the policies or the ideologies that you are actually promoting? And I think it's very important. You can do that by, of course, like you say, that you can always have people at your bay. Not everyone loves you, but there are people who are critics. But again, you have to leave yourself at a point where you can be criticized constructively or negatively. And so I think it's a good point that you need to get to the critics. What are they saying? Don't be a man who never acknowledges criticism. It is very important that you get to, because you only get to understand them when they criticize. So you get to know what to improve, or whether their critics are genuine. And so I think in that level, get to understand your critics. Allow yourself to be absorbed in whatever they say. Don't block everyone. Give room for everyone to say whatever they say. Give them room to express themselves, and then from there know that this is what I'm doing, and this is how my leadership has been able to impact. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And moving forward, if I may just pose this question, that you have been leaders. What are some of these comparisons? How can you differentiate between a good leader and a bad leader?
Personally,
Yes.
the differentiation between a good leader and a bad leader depends on the impact of that leader to the people that he or she leads. Now, for example, me, I'm leading people. If I don't produce results that directly impact these people, then it means I'm a bad leader.
Yeah.
But if I produce results that, the results that portray, or also that portray whatever I was chosen to do, then it means I'm a good leader. So, and again, these people, they are the same people that I should be walking to them and asking, where have I done well? I just try and assess myself through them. But a good leader and a bad leader is only determined through the impact that this person has on the lives of those people that he or she is leading, depending on the docket that he has been accorded. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. What about you, Mr. Mam?
A bad leader is visionless, like I've said. A bad leader is unimpactful. A bad leader is uninfluential. And so, to me, those are three key things which would basically tell me whether you are a good leader or not. Because a leader must be visionary. A leader must be impactful. A leader must be influential. Because visionary in the sense that you must have a vision. What are you seeing? Because you can't see now, you have to see the future. Because when John C. Maxwell says that a leader knows the way and shows the way, so it basically means that a leader has been there in the past. So he knows, he's futuristic about his ideologies, and when he devises even his plans. You can't plan for something which is now. You are planning because there is a future. And so number two, influence. You must have a sphere of influence. How are you trying to influence? How are you trying to get people to absorb your idea? Because, like I said, in ideology, I'm a liberal Democrat. Someone can be an aristocrat, someone can be a communist. So it means that you have to, how do I make people buy into ideology, my ideology, of how we should, embrace each other, how we should, work hard and all that. And then impact. What am I creating in the people? What are they having as an impression of me? Because at the end of the day, once I finish, my course or my term of being in a specific role, if maybe a role is delegated to me, then I have to sit down and ask myself that in these 5 years, maybe in our country, in our Kenyan context, that in US context, we talk about 4 years that our president is in office, our government is in office. So what is the level of impact that the government has created upon the people? How have they bought the vision? And to me, a leader who can create impact upon the people, a leader who people are not able to even know what the leader stands for, is a failed leader. And I think we are in a point where the world really craves for good leaders, leaders who are impactful, leaders who are influential, leaders who are visionary. People who don't just see now, but they are seeing tomorrow. And this one would really shape even the philosophy and the whole leadership spectrum.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And just you've talked about differentiating between a good leader and a bad leader. Now, in the context of Kenya, we have different leaders, and we are heading to election. And who do you support to leaders in August 9th election?
Thank you for that question. In the context of Kenyan leadership, allow me to speak to say that it's more, the leadership of Kenya is more of politics. And in politics, I will tell you that no one is good and no one is bad. All these people, if we describe them as thieves, all of them are thieves. So the decision of someone or the choice of someone over a leader is your own decision that you are expressing and saying that me as a person, this is my best thief. Both of them are thieves, but you are only choosing, this is the thief I want. The other ones, all of them are corrupt, and you are only choosing that this is the person that I want. So me as a person, depending on the Kenyan leadership, I would support Azimio. Yes, the reason I would support Azimio are very many, and I'm a proud supporter of them because we have seen of how their manifestos and agendas and many other things, so which I won't speak of now, but I support Azimio.
All right.
Thank you.
What about you, Mr. Mamu?
What a question. It's so interesting to even speak about that. But before I come to the person I'm supporting or I'm fronting for this, it's important that we understand a few things. PLO Lumumba once said that the monkeys are the same, but the forest seems to be different. But all of them have tails. So in this context, there is no good monkey. And there's no good monkey, there's no better monkey. Every monkey has the same characteristics. All of them are, eat bananas. All of them are all of them they have the same features. And again, number two, there was a time when Martha Karua was coming to the Azimio outfit. She said something. She said that I have looked at the outfit or the wing with fewer thieves. So to him, number one, she acknowledges that they are thieves. That in both outfits, both the Kenya Kwanza Alliance and even the the Azimio, all of them are thieves. But now Martha Karua was looking for an outfit where there are thieves but fewer than the other outfit. and it's a sad reality that we can get it at that level. But one thing that we have to understand, even as we, because definitely we must support one, because we have to vote anyway. So I think key indicators for me that, for the sake of, there are things we should look at. You look at the economic agenda. You look at because the conversation like have been coined now in this election that we're getting into is the economy. And how do we salvage our economy post COVID-19? Because truth be said, COVID-19 has outraged our society and our economy. And so we need to, get to the point of giving it back. And this is not the time, like Deputy President Ruto says, it is not the time to discuss about he coins them VL in Swahili. He says that this is not the time to discuss about seats, This is not the time to discuss about positions. This is not the time to discuss about other power, dynamics and power trappings. But this is the time of an economic agenda. And I think when he talks about bottom up, he is speaking from the point of, it's now a time to bring the idea of, how do we mtu wa chini, mtu wa mboga, how do we now help them even to rise to the economic ladder?
That is a hypocrisy.
Yeah, I agree with both of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I say that we will continue to discuss this matter.
Now you see, before you finish,
but my director is telling me that time is not on our side.
it is okay.
So I'm very grateful for having you on the last episode of Leadership Series.
Thank you.
We have had 3 episodes, and we just wanted to highlight to the Kenyan citizens and everyone who is viewing us what leadership is all about. And I'm grateful for you having here, creating time to come to this the Acute Show. This is just wonderful. It's amazing. I hope to keep on inviting you to come and talk to people.
Thank you.
Yeah, next time I think we shall be doing politics. So I think that time I will invite 2 of you to bring ideas to the table and discuss about politics.
Thank you.
To my viewers, I want to say thank you. This was the last episode of Leadership Series, and I'm just grateful. I hope you've learned something, and see you next time as we discuss more about other issues. Thank you very much.